Hi, welcome back. I'm Paul Chartier. We have some terrific guests, David Boggs from OWL and Brandon McClure from OWL as well. Opportunity for Work and Learning?
Correct.
OWL. I have you on as often as I can because what you do in this community is fantastic and fabulous. Tell people what OWL does.
Well, thank you, Paul, for having us on more than one time. That's encouraging for us. And we appreciate Heart of Gold and the sponsors that permit us to be here. OWL stands for Opportunity for Work and Learning. We were established in 1961 in Lexington as a nonprofit agency to provide job training and job placement services for people with all types of barriers to employment. And as a result of that, over 23,000 people have gone through our program and received some type of services from us since its inception.
People watching may wonder, what's a barrier? I think I have an idea of the barriers. Tell people what the barriers are.
A barrier can be a physical disability, a mental disability, a person with co-occurring disorders, which could be a combination of those, or a lot of people have a barrier because of poverty, or a barrier because of former incarceration that is prohibiting them from getting a job. And what we want to do is complement United Way and their efforts in helping people be more self-sufficient and get jobs and get back out in our community and be more self-sufficient.
So the gap between people with physical, mental disabilities, poverty, getting out of jail, and success and self-sufficiency is huge.
Yes.
That's a long bridge, and you do that. And tell people how you do that.
We do that through a job training program that consists of outsourced manufacturing and assembly projects from 28 different companies across Kentucky.
Are you at liberty to share some of the companies?
Sure. Okay. Some of the companies that we do work for are very large. Some of them are small. We do work for Trane. We do work for Snyder Electric, Webasto. We do work for companies that just need things done during certain seasons of the year. Keeneland example, for example, we do work for them as well.
And although you're a 501c3, you are not a charity, because you've got to bid these jobs out, don't you?
Yes, yes. We competitively bid every job that we do, and we compete against nonprofits and for-profit agencies for the bid.
And you win these. You win these contracts.
Oh yes, we work very hard to win those, but unfortunately, the biggest bidder against us now is Mexico. So we're truly a global company in a competitive market.
Yep. And like all the other companies that are competitive, you will find a way to keep your edge, and I'm so glad you're in Lexington.
Thank you.
So Brandon, we've not met.
Right.
You've been with OWL for a year, and what's your background to get to join OWL?
Sure. Well, while I was going to school at Morehead State University, one of my friends had previously interned for OWL, and she introduced me to David. So they convinced me somehow to come be an intern, and then they couldn't get rid of me. I fell in love with the mission, so when I graduated, they hired me on full-time, and I'm still here.
Isn't it amazing that, you know, we all work for money, but you have followed your passion, and something about OWL touched you, and you chose to make that your full-time job?
I did.
What do you do there?
I'm the Communications and Special Projects Coordinator. So I do our social media and our newsletter, board relations, and different communications, stuff like that.
Okay.
And I also try and keep David straight. That's the more difficult part of
That's
it.
that's the overtime right there.
Right.
What are some of the challenges that you have with trying to get the OWL message cast out to Central Kentucky?
Absolutely. I think the biggest barrier would be marketing-wise. We are very big on self-sufficiency and independence and empowering our individuals. So we never would want to promote it in a way that sounds like, look at these poor individuals that we're assisting, things like that.
Yes.
Which unfortunately you see in some other places.
Yeah.
So we work really hard to help them become, reach their professional and their personal goals.
Yes.
So that's what we do.
David, OWL's been around for a while. Last year, how many people went through the OWL program?
Ironically, last year we had about 200 and 40-some people that receive some type of services. Not everybody comes to us for job placement. However, we're pleased to announce on this program that through the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation, our main referral source, we were had the most successful job placements of any community rehabilitation program in the state last year.
Congratulations.
So we're pleased with that.
It is not easy what you do. It has got to be an uphill battle every single day, but you are a tenacious individual. And look at the people that you're helping, and you're helping these people, but look at the impact you're having on the community. If these 200 people weren't touched by OWL, what would they be doing? Really, what would they be doing?
A lot of them would be couch surfing.
Yeah.
A lot of them would be continuing to receive total support from our government.
Going to get a check.
Going to get a check.
Yeah.
A lot of them would be frustrated with life. And unfortunately, a lot of those folks that they would become reincarcerated again because of not finding a job, not getting health care.
So you're giving them their dignity back.
Yes, that's a very big role that we play, is helping people feel good about themselves.
Absolutely.
And not only give them a check, but make them feel their self-worth.
And you're not doing it in a false way. You're making them productive, and they are being productive, and at the end of the day, they know what they're doing has a worth to it, and it's making an impact.
Absolutely. Yeah. What
is this thing? And why is it here tonight?
Well, this is our latest project that we are doing at OWL. As I mentioned, we do outsource projects for 28 different companies, and this is one of our latest endeavors. We are building a 3D printer from the frame up that is to be used in school classrooms. And Brandon's going to tell you a little bit more about it.
Sure. Well, these models specifically are like desktop size, as you can see. So they're going to be used in classrooms and in more personal settings so that 3D technology is more accessible to people who can't have an entire industrial building dedicated to it. So some of the items you see here, like the owl, that takes about 4 hours to produce, but it costs less than $1 to produce as well. So it's amazing how it's growing. And we can use this plastic, and it melts it down, or heats it up at least enough to be malleable. And that's how it works. It's all cloud-based, so you can send designs from a computer, either download them or design them. And it's allowing individuals to not only design and download things like that, but also get the technical experience with them.
When computers first came out, you know, people thought, we lived so many years without computers, who needs them? You know, or why do we need pagers? Why do we need cell phones? What is this going to do to make a difference in our manufacturing world?
Well, you know, Paul, we spent a lot of time talking about Fayette County and Lexington having world first-class students.
Yes.
And this is just a tool to help students in the classroom. Can you imagine the difference in a math fair or a science fair or some STEM project if a student has the accessibility of a printer like this to make that model and prototype at a lower level to show, hey, I can create this for our world?
As a novice, I'm not a computer guy, how does the machine know to build this castle? Is there a program that's inserted in that? Brandon, how's that done?
Sure, it's all cloud-based, so there's a variety of different programs and software that you can use on the computer. There's different companies that create it, and it builds it kind of similar to like a CAD system. So you can take design classes to learn how to function, but there's so many people that are online that are jumping on this really awesome, I guess, growth in the industry. And there's a lot of designs for free and kind of easy, user-friendly, like build your own design. So it's very cool. You can see the level of difficulty there.
What is a good application for this that people may not know about?
They are using this not only in schools, but they're using it in the National Space Station. I think I heard that they had emailed like a wrench design, that they didn't have the correct size wrench.
Oh,
we're using it in the medical field for prosthetics. I mean, it's everywhere.
That is
crowns
amazing.
For teeth.
That is remarkable.
Yeah.
That's crazy. David, I know that, you know, what you've got going. I mean, this, you are on the cusp of what's going on. And I think a lot of you and OWL, because again, if every city doesn't have their version of OWL, they should, because of what the gap that you fill. It's just amazing. Some of the challenges that you've got coming up are what? And then we need to talk about some fun stuff that you raise money, right?
Yes, you know, one of the challenges for us, ironically, is the low employment rate. That's great in a lot of ways, but however, when people come into our training program have significant disabilities, it makes it more challenging for them to get a job sometime. So we are really working on that to make sure that we have an employer-employee match, so that the employer is getting someone that will add benefit to their company. As a matter of fact, we're starting a brand new program that is called the Bluegrass Coalition for Workforce Diversity that we will be launching this year in 5 counties, and it will specifically target individuals with significant disabilities to match them with employers that will value their skills and employ them so that they can also become more self-sufficient.
The best gets even better. Give us the website, and is there something fun going on at the end of July?
Yes.
And what website can they go to find out about that?
Oh, we always have something fun going on in July. We are getting ready to have our 9th annual Al Foundation golf outing. And this golf outing will support our new expansion program that we're doing within the counties to meet people's needs. And also we reinvest back in our community with projects that are like Al and have the similar type mission. And that will be July the 28th at the University Club, our 9th annual Al Foundation golf outing. And they can go to the website of www.owlinc.net and find out all about it, or pick up the phone and call us and ask for Brandolyn at 254-0576.
We're winding down on time, but so we need volunteers, we need golfers, we need companies that have manufacturing projects that can call you.
Yes.
Brandolyn, to close this out, you went to Morehead State.
I did.
You went to high school, you went to college. I've got a degree, I can do anything I want. Did you ever imagine you'd be doing this?
I would hoped I did, but I didn't know that I actually would until I started working. So I'm very grateful.
Well, obviously, this is a good match.
Yes.
And in closing, let's close it out, and you say anything you want about the terrific experience that you're having at OWL.
Absolutely. My all-time favorite thing about OWL is that we're not only a service provider, but we're an advocate for the individuals that we serve. And that's a really important component, because sometimes the barriers aren't tangible.
You do great work for the community and these individuals. You give them their life back, so congratulations. In closing, I want to thank the people at Channel 27, WKYT, who volunteer their time every month to put the program on. Thanks, everybody. We couldn't do this without you. Thanks, Channel 27. David, Brandolyn, thanks so much. I'm Paul Chartier. You're watching Heart of Gold. Pick up the phone, get on the computer, make your time worthwhile, invest in these folks. We'll be back next time. Thank you.